I don't know who messed up, but I'm pretty upset right now.
Oh gosh, what have I done?
I heavily messed up.
This is Simple Living with Biata. For the last year, I've been building my dream home and homestead from scratch with no experience. Right now, I'm doing the foundation series. So far, I cut all of the trees for this area. We excavated the build site, did the plumbing, added gravel, did the form boards, and did the insulation. And now it's time to get the vapor barrier in and all of the metal, the rebar and the mesh. For the last 5 days, it's been nonstop raining. It's been really frustrating because I feel like I can't get any work done. So today I'm gonna try my best. I have to tape up the insulation that I finished laying down last week, and I wanna fill some cracks in with some extra spray foam insulation just to make sure that it's fully insulated. Okay, here we go. Hopefully I have enough. I honestly may have bought the wrong product because this is quite thin and I need a larger gap filler. So I might have to run to the hardware store, but I'll do all the thin gaps for now. All right, it's back to town I go. That didn't get very far. Sorry, I meant to take you along with me in Home Depot, but anyways, I got some gap filler and hopefully I can get this done now. And now to deal with this section. First of all, I think I'm gonna remove that temporary manifold that is holding all of those PEX tubes together just because it's kind of in the way and it keeps bending. And I have to get rid of those sticks. Wish me luck. And I have to insulate the bottom there, and I'm just gonna fill it in with extra pieces of that silver insulation. That was not supposed to happen. We're not gonna tell my building inspector. Okay, that was this much into the ground. I will never do that again. Next time I'll use rebar. That took me a good half hour to get that one out and break this one. It is officially done raining, I hope. Now it's time to start taping. I think I'm gonna have to wipe things before I tape. I don't know. The blue tape is pretty magnificent. And I ran out of tape. I thought I bought more than enough. I feel like I'm not normally this disorganized. Time to get more tape. All right, I'm back with more tape. Only an hour and 15 minutes left till I have to pick my daughter up. One of my goals with building my home and documenting it online for the world to see is to be able to inspire others and to show them that you can buy land, develop it yourself, build your own home, and do it without experience. But something that's really difficult for most people is to be able to afford land, because it can be really tricky to find somebody who can mortgage land. And my goal is to be able to bridge the gap, which brings us to today's sponsor, Discount Lots. Discount Lots makes purchasing land easy and accessible to everyone in the United States, with exclusive listings at wholesale pricing and no agent fees or commissions. Through Discount Lots, you can buy your land in a large lump sum or through a payment plan with multiple payment options to choose from as low as $200 a month. I truly think buying land should be more accessible to everyone. Everyone deserves the opportunity to buy land and to develop it, building your forever home, or to flipping it and making a big profit. Click on the link in my description to see the kind of land that Discount Lots has to offer. And when you check out, use the code DLBIATA10. And thank you so much to Discount Lots for sponsoring this week's video. So this is really out of level, so I'm just gonna blow it with my blowtorch and basically move it and shift it until it's in the right spot. Some of them are like off by a little bit and some of them are off by a lot, so I want to quickly fix them before I do the vapor barrier.
Before I get to the vapor barrier, I also have to clean up. There are pieces of foam everywhere and there's dirt everywhere, and I just want it to be a perfectly clean slate. I'm all cleaned up and it's time to try putting down the vapor barrier. I only have like 20 minutes left before I have to pick up my daughter, but I'm hoping we can come back here and that she can help me.
Oh, it's pretty short, eh? Okay, now we're gonna spread it out. Can you spread this out? Hello! Oh, thank you.
All right, we could only get so far in that hour. Time to get more vapor barrier and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. So we're back at it. Everything is soaking wet. It's still raining. It makes things really difficult when you're trying to tape and everything is wet. On the plus side with the weather today, it is not windy at all. So hopefully laying down the rest of this vapor barrier will be a smooth sailing.
I'm glad I went and bought more vapor barrier last night. I think I'm going to just have enough.
Here comes the wave, leaning to its power and control what you have said. Here comes the flood, rushing clean. 'Cause there's a presence in the great beyond, reaching out and reaching on.
One more row to do and it's still raining.
Comes the flood, rushing free.
No. I wasn't supposed to run out.
I might have another sheet though in the shed. Let's hope this is big enough.
Well, this is not big enough, but I'm gonna try to make it work with another small sheet that I have. There needs to be at least a 6-inch overlap. Okay, that should work.
Here comes the fire, burning hot and white with desire.
All of the vapor barrier is done, but sort of. So I need to be able to put some bigger pipes around the existing pipes in the foundation just to make sure I have a little bit of extra wiggle room when it comes to vents going up walls and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna put vapor barrier around that. There's honestly just so many little things you have to think about when building a home. Like doing that is not required by code, but it just makes my life easier in the future. That way I don't have to bust through a little bit of concrete if I need to move a vent over a couple of inches.
So this pipe is supposed to be coming through the wall and it's not. So I'm gonna have to get some pipes to fix this. And now I'm gonna go around and check all the rest of my pipes because I really don't want this to be all messed up.
It is time to start pulling out this rebar and putting it into place. I am so excited for this. It's going to be a lot of work, but I went to a steel place the other day and he explained to me the easiest and most efficient way to do it. So I'm going to lay my corners down and my lengths of rebar down first. And then I have these things called P-stirrups, and it's basically going to tie everything together.
This mesh is on top of everything that I need. So I'm going to take the time to move the mesh into the middle of the slab right now because it's going to be easier to do it now than it is once all the rebar and the P-stirrups are in. down.
I've started laying my full lengths out and I've realized I'm gonna have to start cutting, and I just don't have time to do that today. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's gonna be a day without rain. I'm so excited. Back to the rebar, I have to get started with cutting it. All the rebar needs to overlap by 2 feet. So around the corners and when any of the pieces end, they need to overlap. So I need to account for that. So I'm gonna measure and grind.
Okay, I know this is bad because I don't have my guard on. I lost the guard, but do you use your grinder this way or this way? I find this way to be really comfortable, but apparently this way the sparks don't fly in your face. I'm gonna try both. It's still kind of flying at me, so I'm gonna do the other way.
I have configured everything so that I have actually 2 full lengths of rebar left over, and I'll use that in the foundation for the wood boiler. Just like that, all of the rebar is cut and put in place, and next up, I have to put in the P-stirrups. To make my life even easier, I'm marking out where the P-stirrups are supposed to be. They're 16 inches on center according to my plans, and this will make for an easier inspection so that my building inspector can see that I did the extra work to make sure I was putting them every 16 inches. P-stirrups is just rebar bent kind of in the shape of a P, and it kind of holds everything together. Not required by code in my area, but my engineer wanted to just be a little bit extra.
What have I done? Ugh. Figuring it out.
Oh my goodness, I am like sweating beyond belief. I have this one side lined up. The rest of the stirrups are on the outside of the foundation. I have them in little piles here. I'm gonna get the one side tied up first before I put the stirrups through the rebar on the other sides. Well, I have these wire ties and I have this hook. Apparently, it makes it super easy to tie all the wire to the rebar.
Oh, this is gonna be harder than I thought. Come on. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Stop that.
My butt is so wet from sitting on the vapor barrier. There's so many puddles on here. Okay, I have most of this like first row of rebar tied to the P-stirrups. I'm gonna get the second layer, the top layer, tied as well. Now this is gonna be tricky by myself, so I think I'm gonna use some sort of like jig, like put a bucket underneath the rebar, something like that, to make sure it holds up for me.
Okay. How am I supposed to lift this? I think I have to have all of the stirrups sitting perfectly upright for this to work. None of this like leaning, because then I can't lift the rebar up. Shoot. I might just need taller buckets. I'm gonna lose it. Oh.
Not gonna lie, getting the top rebar lengths onto those buckets was the biggest pain in the butt. I'm in pain after doing that, but now they're raised high enough that I can start attaching them to the stirrups. So as I was going along, I was noticing that the stirrups are coming really high up to the top of the wood, and the concrete's not going to the very top. So I don't know who messed up, but I'm pretty upset right now. Portion here is 16 inches, but the concrete is only supposed to be 18 inches tall, which only leaves an inch below and above. Okay, I just checked my quote. Luckily, they quoted me properly, but they just sent the wrong size. Hey, this is Biata.
Oh, hi, Biata. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
It's good. I do have some bad news though. All of my P-strips were bent to the wrong size that I was quoted for. I heavily messed up. I contacted them. Yes, they quoted me to a smaller P-strip, but then they double checked my plans and realized they quoted me to the wrong size. So then they changed it to the proper size. So my issue is that on my engineering plans, I screenshotted it and it turned out blurry. So I thought it said 10 inches when in fact it said 1 foot 0 inches. And then it said 8 inches above grades. So I thought it was supposed to be 18 inches tall. So now my concrete slab is supposed to be 20 inches tall, which puts an extra 2 inches across my entire foundation. So that's 6 extra cubic meters and it's 330 a meter. So it's an extra $2,000 for my mistake. Now, the other thing is if I were to have built this properly, I would have needed more gravel in the inside. It would have probably been an extra load or two of gravel. So that would have been an extra $1,000. So overall, I'm spending about an extra $1,000. At the end of the day, that's not too bad. These are the mistakes people talk about though when you build your own home. They say leave it to the professionals. Some of the mistakes you make might cost you more money than what it's worth. I still believe that doing all of the forming, all of the gravel with Craig, doing all of the insulation and all of that saved me more money than what I would have spent to hire this whole thing out. And all I can think right now is my stepdad, Craig, he is gonna say, I told you so to me, because he said to me, stop looking at your plans on your phone. And I was like, it's fine, it's fine. And that one little number, looking at it on my phone, and it was blurry, is what cost me this extra $1,000. So learn your lesson from me, get your plans printed so that you can see all of those little numbers. The only positives that I can think with this is now my foundation is 2 inches taller, which actually makes me really happy. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's crazy journey. Each week is a step in the right direction towards building our dream home. Join me next week where I'm gonna get all of this rebar down. And to make sure you don't miss a thing, click the subscribe button, click the bell notification, and like and comment. I love hearing from you. All right, guys, onward and upward, and I will see you next week.